We finally have our Gate Guardian deck profile, taking down a first place and an actual regional driven competition. Don't be like the 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, before we even get into this profile here, I have to give a major shout out to Chewy Plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, the reason for this is, earlier in the week, I think it was Tuesday, I was looking through and doing a little bit of playtesting of my list. I was playing one of each Gate Guardian. It was kind of what we were messing around with for very early ratios. And when we went to go put together deck profiles for the day, just kind of looking and seeing what the metagame was doing, I came across a Gate Guardian list that won their locals. And I was actually very impressed with this. I was like, all right, we're going to put this together, because I wasn't liking how my ratios were going. So we net decked the list, and we went ahead and put it together. And we won our locals with the deck on Thursday. I was like, wow, it's pretty good. And we went ahead and took it to regionals. We finished 5-5 at the regional. I mean, we were up 5 wins in a row from 1 loss. So, I mean, it's pretty impressive. Starting your day off, you know, one loss, 5 straight wins in a row with the deck. And it is incredibly good. So, I'll leave a link down below to Chewy Plays Yu-Gi-Oh! So you can see the original profile. But we're going to go through and we're going to discuss some of my thoughts on this deck as of having played it now for 2 events. So, we have 2 of each of the names for this. Now, full disclaimer here for, you know, the bricks. Kazujin gets dropped off of the Magician Souls, which is incredibly important for this deck. Alright, also this and this, these 2 make the best fusion in the deck, which is this. The fact that this exists, your game plan is to get this on the field, and yeah, I'm telling you, it's not a very good game plan, right? Like, this deck has issues, and it is pretty strong at certain points. So you're basically going to be playing a whole lot of ways to try to facilitate the use of those 6 cards. You can Crystal Beast them, essentially. So, there is the Labyrinth Tank. Now, this card lets you play 1 into your face-up spell and trap card zone per turn. And if you actually control a Labyrinth Wall, which, Labyrinth Wall, we did it. On resolution of the effect, you can pop on the opponent's field. The amount of times that you pop with this, your opponent doesn't have the response. So do keep that in mind. Like, this card is actually value town. If your opponent doesn't, you know, use their monster effect on this, on the resolution, because the wording is, you can, once, or during your main phase, you can place 1 of your Sangha, Kazujin, or Sujins that is banished, or in your hand or deck, face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell. Then if you control a Labyrinth Wall card, you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls. So yes, you have to chain before, based on wording from this. Same thing with this. The field spell is not a once per turn. This card is super, super good. Also, this does give a Summoning Sickness effect, because its monsters cannot attack the turn that they are summoned except monsters whose original is level 5 or higher. And a lot of people were caught very off guard by that. And then, of course, you actually do play 3 copies of the Shadow Ghoul to actually go search for the field spell, which, getting the effect on this is pretty good. Also, the field spell pops something that's, I think, 1600 or less attack. So that is, these are all the best cards in your deck. I kind of do want to play Terraforming. Now we do play this incredibly good card. Holy moly. The hero package in this deck. I loved this. Normal Summon Prisma, drop a piece, and if the rest of your hand is like, if you can see other pieces in any sort of manner, you are going to be in such an incredibly good position. And I will tell you that also paying half of your life points is incredibly good for the Ryoku Guardian. To be honest with you, the Ryoku Guardian, I didn't even draw. I'll explain that more later, but this is your hero package. I did board out bits and pieces of this throughout the day. Now, I have been very vocal about this. I think that you mandatorily have to play this package. So we are playing 2 Magician Souls. This lets you send your Winter Crystal Beast down here to draw cards, which is kind of needed. We also play 2 Illusions, So you can search. I mean, you do have Kazagens as well, but this gives you, you have 6 ways to search for this package so that you can actually, you know, get the value that you need off of this. Also, I don't know, I might cut, I don't know, I kind of want to cut this down to like maybe, maybe, it sucks when it gets ashed. Speaking of ash, so we do play 3 ash. I kind of want other hand traps. Most of the games that felt really winnable, as bad as it actually was just simply ending on, you make this guy, and if you had an ash in your hand, that's 2 spell and trap negates, and whatever they would do on this, that's not unwinnable. That's actually pretty good. It's 3 negates. Weird as that actually is, that's kind of good enough. We have triple copies of Fusion, Deployment. Hey, free special summon from the deck to put a piece on the field. Incredibly good. 2 copies of the Sacred Brick. I cited these out a lot. Though you are going to see a lot of pieces flowing back, it's pretty alright. We have triple copies of the Pop an opponent's card on a quick effect. This is searchable, but I found myself not accessing it a lot. We have 1 copy of the Ryoku Guardian. This card is nuts if you actually see it. I didn't make the Gate Guardian that searches like at all. I was just like more curious about rolling out the good stuff. Spell Trap drop, and then the one of Jurai Gumo. So that is your shenanigans. Now, extra deck here. 3 copies of the Big Gate Guardian. Now, this guy, unlike the other 3, can summon from the hand, banish from the grave. So banish from hand, banish from grave, banish from field. The fact that they made the other 3 not be able to banish from the field or the grave hurts them very badly. And that's like the biggest hindrance with this deck, is the mini pieces are the best parts of the deck. The big guy, not so good. Now this card I think is incredibly nuts. Once per chain up to twice per turn, you can negate a spell or trap card or the effect of a spell or trap card that the opponent does. And if this face-up card that was special summoned leaves the field because of your opponent, you get to drop a Kazagen or a Suijin back onto the field, which is really, really good. For $24.50, this is like the go-to here. Now, we also have 2 copies of this. This is the Spell and Trap Searcher for the deck. This does get you into, you know, the Ryoku Guardian or whatever that you would need, but I don't know, I just felt that this card, if you can make it, it's good. Then there's this incredibly terrible card. I think this card is awful, but it did allow me to set a monster's attack to 0 to not lose the game after they cleared my Gate Guardian. So toggling down into this for the quick effect actually did work out. So I guess it can't be incredibly awful. It also floats, so there's that. This is the result of how bad the format is. You do need these, unfortunately. I'll tell you, your Kashtira matchup feels unwinnable no matter what you do with this deck. As much as I love how fun this deck is, you have an incredibly terrible Kashtira matchup. Same thing with Sprite. Yeah, who would have guessed? Sprite locking you into level 2s and they kill your fusion. What do? This kind of comes up. Not really. I've never made this card in my life, and I've never seen this many level 7s on the field to matter. Both of the times I can make these, I'm usually under Fusion Deployment, so it doesn't matter. Side deck was the best part of this deck. 3 copies of the Sea Turtle. This card beat a free Despia matchup for me, which was incredibly good. Having access to a Kaiju, really good. This took an M-Pen from my opponent one tournament and actually mattered. So that's a big win for Kashtira, but like I said, you need them to go second, or you need them to go first, and you need to see this card to even be able to play the game. And yeah, that's my luck is horrible. We also have triple copies of Dimensional Barriers. That's pretty good. And then I actually found myself playing these in the deck a lot. These Judgments are actually really, really good. Judgments, honestly, having this guy active for the negates and having a judgment back, it's the same thing as the ash. Like, it's usually incredibly good at the end of the day just to see how much value that you can actually get out of it. But water and wind actually is probably by far the best. So that is the list that I've been using. So please check out Chewy Plays Yu-Gi-Oh! Down below. They get credit for making this amazing monster. And to answer the question, did I have fun playing this? Yes, I did. Will I continue to play it? I miss Runic. I'm just going to be honest with you. I love Runic to death. I love what it does, but I had to get my Gate Guardian out of my system where I could. I do like Sam's list for the Pendulum, but like, I don't want to dedicate that much brain power to playing a deck. I can only Gate Guardian. So guys, please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later in the day, guys. Peace out. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.